All right, you're going to want to pay attention to this because it really is stunning. A registered child sex offender facing 20 charges now for allegedly exposing himself multiple times to women and young girls in locker rooms at high schools across Arlington County, Virginia. And the area's transgender policies may have paved the way for him to do it. Let's bring in the Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares. Mr. Attorney General, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. A lot of people at home watching this may wonder how we got to the point where a registered child sex offender can gain access to a girls' locker room at a high school aquatic facility simply by claiming to be transgender.
Well, as often happens in these types of cases, you hear these stories and you think, how in the world did this happen? And this happened because you had certain local, in this case, a local Commonwealth's attorney in Fairfax, who views himself more as a social worker than a prosecutor. And so back in June of last year, months before these incidences in Arlington, this individual, as noted, was a registered Tier 3 sex offender, the highest level for indecent liberties with a child, a criminal conviction, a felony conviction dating back to the 1990s. This individual went to a Planet Fitness, exposed himself. Those charges were later dropped. But the reality is, because he's a Tier 3 registered sex offender, he's not allowed within 100 feet of a daycare or center or school. Well, guess what? Right next to that Planet Fitness was a daycare center.
Wow.
They could have prosecuted him on a felony in June. He was allowed to be back on the street. And as a result, he exposed himself to a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, multiple individuals, and now he's facing multiple charges in Arlington. But this is what happens when local prosecutors fall through the cracks, and local government, in this case in Fairfax, specifically allowed a policy that allowed individuals like him, a biological male, to freely walk in and use the women's restroom.
As you said, there's quite a history with this fella. And in terms of Arlington Public Schools and their facilities, it didn't happen just once. It happened in multiple locations, including the Barcroft Sports and Fitness Center, the Washington Liberty High School, and Wakefield High School. Parents had alerted the school board about earlier incidents, but it appeared to fall on deaf ears. Here's what WJLA, one of the local affiliates, reported. Quote, the mother said she spoke to Arlington County School Board member Mary Cadera about the situation in September of 2024. And Cadera's solution was to add signage encouraging people to be considerate of others, to cover private parts in locker rooms, and to observe locker room etiquette. Mr. Attorney General, what about the basic idea of keeping sex offenders the heck out of girls' locker rooms?
This is a classic case of what I like to say. Sometimes people could be so open-minded, their brain falls out. The fact that we're even debating this, which would have been a no-brainer even 20 years ago. This is an individual, this perpetrator, Richard Cox, who's quoted in the Washington Post as saying that he feels a compulsion to expose himself in public. And he's later quoted in a video captured when he was arrested, saying that in modern America, he's welcomed in these bathrooms. It just goes to show that these policies that people set, even at the local level, but not set in a vacuum, it is now encouraged, I would argue, a registered sex offender to take advantage of these laws and expose themselves multiple times to young children. The reality was he should have never been in a position to ever expose himself. He was within 100 feet of a daycare center. He should have been prosecuted in June of last year, and he wasn't, and because of the lack of will by some of these social justice prosecutors that have popped up around the country.
All right, one of these incidents occurred on November the 16th of 2024. He was encountered by police where he claimed that being checked against the sex offender registry was a violation of his civil rights. Listen to what he said. This was caught on body cam.
Them pulling up my information on the sex offender registry and using it to stop me from exercising my civil rights as a transgender person is a criminal misuse of the sex offender registry.
Let me get you to react to what he said there and the fact that Arlington County Schools' remedy for all of this now is to make sure that anybody who comes in to the facility is checked against the sex offender registry. Does there need to be something just more basic than that?
Listen, that is an example of a convicted felon who feels a sense of entitlement, but he has been enabled by both local laws, local politicians that refuse to do their job. Your first job in public safety, if you're an elected official, is keeping your citizens safe. Because of these misguided policies, they have failed the general public. And this individual is taking advantage of these laws that when they were passed, I'm sure these local County Board of Supervisors patted themselves on the back and thought about how enlightened they were. The reality is they have made our young children vulnerable to predators, sexual predators, just like this. And to what he said to those cops is him just essentially saying, hey, I'm taking advantage of the laws that have been available to me. But the reality is those laws are put into place on the sex offenders list to keep people specifically like him away from our kids. Local government has failed their Virginia constituents.
Mr. Attorney General Jason Miyares, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. This just, I mean, just shaking your head over this is just, you know, I mean, it's nowhere near what you really are thinking inside. But yeah, it's just incredible. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.